Aileen Wuornos, often referred to as the Highway Killer, stands as one of the most notorious female serial killers in American history. Her life, marked by relentless abuse, exploitation, and violence, culminated in a chilling spree of murders that shocked the nation. This biography explores the grim life of Aileen Wuornos, delving into the darkness that consumed her and the horrific crimes that solidified her place in criminal infamy. Aileen Carol Wuornos was born on February 29, 1956, in Rochester, Michigan. From the outset, her life was a descent into darkness. Her father, Leo Dale Pittman, was a convicted child molester who was in prison when she was born and later committed suicide behind bars. Her mother, Diane Wuornos, abandoned Aileen and her older brother Keith when Aileen was just 4 years old. Aileen and Keith were taken in by their maternal grandparents, Lori and Britta Wuornos, in Troy, Michigan. However, their new home was far from safe. Lori was an alcoholic who frequently subjected the children to physical abuse. By the age of 11, Aileen was engaging in sexual activities in exchange for food, drugs, and cigarettes. She claimed her grandfather also sexually abused her, compounding the trauma that would shape her future. At 14, Aileen became pregnant, reportedly the result of rape by a family friend. She was sent to a home for unwed mothers, and her baby was given up for adoption. Shortly after, her grandmother died of liver failure, and her grandfather threw her out of the house. Homeless and desperate, Aileen turned to prostitution to survive. In her late teens and early adulthood, Wuornos's criminal record grew, including charges of DUI, disorderly conduct, assault, and armed robbery. She drifted from place to place, hitchhiking across the country and engaging in petty crimes. In 1976, she briefly married a wealthy yacht club president, Louis Gratz Fell, but the marriage was annulled after just 9 weeks due to her violent behavior. By the late 1980s, Wuornos had settled in Florida, continuing to work as a prostitute along the highways. It was during this period that she began her infamous killing spree. From 1989 to 1990, Wuornos murdered 7 men. She claimed they had raped or attempted to rape her while she was working as a prostitute, and that all the killings were in self-defense. However, the brutality and nature of the murders suggested a far more sinister motivation. Her modus operandi was disturbingly consistent. She would pick up her victims, shoot them at close range with a .22 caliber pistol, rob them, and leave their bodies in remote locations. The randomness and sheer violence of the crimes, combined with Wuornos's seemingly vulnerable appearance, created a media frenzy and a climate of fear along Florida's highways. Wuornos's reign of terror came to an end on January 9, 1991, at The Last Resort, a biker bar in Volusia County, Florida. Her arrest followed an intense investigation that included tracking her movements and linking her to the murders through items stolen from the victims. During her trial, Wuornos's behavior was erratic and defiant. She fired her legal team multiple times and ultimately pleaded no contest to the murders, stating she wanted to get right with God. On January 27, 1992, she was convicted of 6 of the murders and sentenced to death. While on death row, Wuornos gave several interviews in which she vacillated between claiming self-defense and admitting to the murders in cold blood. Her mental health deteriorated, and she exhibited signs of severe psychological distress. Aileen Wuornos was executed by lethal injection on October 9, 2002, at Florida State Prison. Her final words were a chilling reflection of her troubled mind. "I'd just like to say I'm sailing with the Rock, and I'll be back like Independence Day, with Jesus June 6. Like the movie, Big Mother Ship and all, I'll be back." Aileen Wuornos's life and crimes have been the subject of extensive media coverage, books, and films, most notably the 2003 movie Monster, which earned actress Charlize Theron an Academy Award for her portrayal of Wuornos. Her story continues to fascinate and horrify, serving as a grim reminder of the potential for violence born from a lifetime of abuse and neglect. Wuornos's legacy is one of tragedy and terror, a complex interplay of victimhood and villainy. Her life serves as a chilling testament to the impact of a brutal childhood and the dark paths that can emerge from a history of trauma and exploitation. The highway killer remains a haunting figure in the world of true crime, a symbol of the thin line between the innocent and the monstrous.